Today, I want to redefine what mindset means. Now, the longer I do this, the longer I think about specifically the over-scrolling problem that people have, myself included, the more I realize that mindset is really, really important. And I'm kind of a natural skeptic, or I've been always seemed to be skeptical of things like this and, positive thinking and kind of discounting that as just mumbo jumbo. And that, never really kind of stuck with me and made sense to me. It doesn't seem right, at least to my brain. And the more I learned about how the brain works and about how humans work, the more I realized, oh, no, it's really, really important. And it starts with kind of defining what a mindset is. A mindset, for me, and commitment theory, is a set of beliefs. Just the set of beliefs that you have is your mindset. And the cool thing about those is you can kind of adopt new mindsets depending on what situation you're in. So if you're playing a game, you can adopt a very competitive mindset. You don't have to carry that mindset and those beliefs that, winning is important over to real life. You can kind of leave that belief at the door or until you need it. So you don't have to be as competitive in every area of your life, because winning isn't important in every situation, but it's something we can adopt here or there, situationally. And there are some core beliefs that are really powerful, but I kind of want to explain why. Why do our beliefs matter so much? Like, aren't we just born with them or have developed them and they are what we are? Well, not really. So our brain is a big fancy, sorry, my cat's scratching at me. Okay, back up. Back up, Gigi. Our brains are a big fancy prediction machine, and it's really good at it. And what I always use to describe, he's being a kitten right now, is throwing a ball. If I throw a ball to you, your senses are a little delayed. So like your processing of that is a little delayed. And so in order to catch it properly, you have to predict where it's going to be. And you use the past and you use what you believe about, with knowledge of having caught many balls or seeing balls thrown. You can kind of read the trajectory and you predict where it's going to be to catch it, because you're actually slightly delayed. And so you have to do that. And that prediction carries over into just purely, how do we survive? And our beliefs inform that. It's kind of like filters on a camera. If I put a different filter on the camera, maybe a red filter, I would see the world in red when I took a picture, etc. And there's all sorts of different kinds of camera filters you can do, polarized to kind of fix some sunlight stuff and things like that. And our beliefs work the same way. They're just filters on our prediction machine. They change what data we are reading and how we're processing that data. And so when you're playing a game and you've adopted that competitiveness belief and that winning is important when you're playing a game, then all the information you're seeing about what people are doing on, while they're playing, you're processing as data that I need to win. So I need to see where people are and et cetera, where, I've been guilty of being over competitive and have, not conducted myself properly. And so I've had to adopt different beliefs on that. But even when I feel like I'm operating within the rules of the game, some people that don't have the same belief about how a competition should run, they kind of get their feelings hurt because you're trying too hard, or that's not a good move. Well, that's within the bounds of the game, so it's totally proper for me to do that. And our beliefs work in the same way for our prediction machine. They're just filtering in the information that we get and how we process it. And so when you have positive mindsets, it changes how you're predicting what can or may occur. Okay, so if you have a mindset that you think, I was born with this problem, therefore it is just who I am, then you're not going to get any information in, you're not going to let any information that challenges that, or your body's not even going to see those signals at all about, oh wait, change is possible. Remember when you did this thing and then that thing happened and now things were different? And so there's some really, valuable mindsets that you can adopt, which I've shared in many other videos. I'll put one on the end of this video, so stick around for that. Just the 3 mindsets that I think are critical to habit change. But I just kind of wanted to share and redefine a mindset. A mindset's just a set of beliefs, and a lot of those we got from our parents or from culture in general. Some just came into our own brain when we were kids to explain what we were seeing, and just, oh, I think this. For example, funny story. When I was a kid, I remember asking, why are those rumble strips on the side of the road? I don't know if you've ever driven on a rural road, but there's like some little grooves in the sides, to kind of remind you, oh, you're driving off. But I didn't know that when I was a kid, so I remember asking my dad, and my dad's a jokester. He told me that's how your Uncle Alan knows how to stay on the road. My Uncle Alan's blind, so he's not driving. I didn't get that as a kid. I just kind of adopted that belief of, oh, those are to keep so blind people can drive. And there's also similar in rural areas, there's similar strips before stop signs. I asked the same question. Well, okay, that's so Alan knows how to stop. So I'm picturing as a child, like, okay, he's just driving. Oh, I'm a blind guy. It's just, this is what's keeping me in the lane. And, oh, there's something I got to stop. It made sense. That's what I believed. And I even, looking back, I remember my mom like yelling at my dad, like, don't tell him that. But I didn't really process that part. I didn't let that in because that's not what I was using to predict. This made sense to me as a kid. And fast forward into, I was, probably early teenage, mid-teenage years. So we're starting to drive, or I'm starting to be with friends and whatever. And we're driving in rural roads. And I remember some kid asked, what are those rumble strips for? And I remember it popping into my brain, that's so my blind people know how to drive. And I was old enough now at the time that I was like, wait a minute, blind people don't drive. My dad was joking with me, and of course he was, that's who he is. But so what I'm saying is those beliefs, think about what beliefs that you came up with when you were a kid, or you were told, or that you got in media, films, television shows about the world, or you were taught in school, or whatever it was, or learned from a friend, from like a 6-year-old. What does he know about the world? What have you carried with you today? What are kind of the rumble strips in your mind that are preventing you from making a meaningful change in your life? I would ask you to subscribe if this resonated with you. Most of my views come from people that don't subscribe. It's purely selfish. I just want to know who's watching. I want a signal that I'm providing value. If you know of anyone in your life that's dealing with scrolling issues, share this video with them, share the channel, let them know I'm committed to helping them, and I'm excited to do so. Until next time, I appreciate you. Bye.